Good morning and hi friends, welcome back to another episode of Sounds Like a You Problem. Today we're talking about self-care. If self-care is not something you're prioritizing, that's a you problem. Sounds like a you problem is a you problem. We're gonna fix that. There are so many reasons that self-care is detrimentally important, okay? If you have an empty cup, you can't pour from it. So if you don't fill your cup up, how are you gonna help others? Especially like if you're a mom, you're taking care of like young humans that are trying to learn how to navigate this world. That is exhausting. That is one of the most rewarding yet thankless jobs there is out there, right? I'm not a mom, but my sister is. And I get it. You cannot fulfill the needs of that child as well as you could if your cup is full. Same if you're in a relationship and you don't have kids, or like for your dogs or your pets or whoever it is that you like hold in a high value in your life. And if it's just you, why aren't you holding yourself at a high value? Why aren't you prioritizing yourself if it's just you? I need to know, because knowing and learning yourself is what life is about. Like, it's a journey. It's about being taught lessons, seeing lessons, learning lessons, growing, improving, and all of that. So when I'm talking about the importance of self-care, it's like, hello. I thought I was indulging in self-care prior to my alcoholism. I really thought that like what I did was caring for myself, when really it was just to show up and look good for others, to receive the benefits of others seeing me show up looking good. Looking good is not self-care. If doing that makes you feel good for yourself, then it is self-care. Okay, so some of the examples of self-care for me after sobriety was brushing my teeth. I know, I've talked about this. It's really gross. It's really embarrassing. It genuinely is, but I did not care about myself, did not love myself. My reason why for getting sober was to show myself and prove to myself that I loved myself, because I was not doing that. And I wasn't doing it because I didn't. Okay, so when you do this, you gain trust and confidence and knowledge within yourself and about yourself, and it will make you show up better and brighter and happier for yourself and for those around you. It gives you peace. The level of peace that comes with taking care of yourself is one that cannot be replicated, matched, faked. It just can't. I'm so thirsty. I'm gonna take a drink of Sprite really quick. I'm excited because the cranberry Sprite is probably back in stock, and that's one of my favorite little holiday treats is a cranberry Sprite. Okay, when you understand yourself, you understand what it is that you need to do to take care of yourself that brings you joy. This could be prioritizing your health. You might have an autoimmune disease. There might be lifestyle changes that you should or could be making to help this, help your autoimmune, your life be more beneficial, right, overall. Or it might be alone time. Maybe you're super introverted. You love to go out with friends and you love to laugh and giggle and stuff, but you have a hard time saying no. But alone time is where you refill your cup. You gotta figure that out. My self-care, number one self-care thing is like a bath, a good bath. I love a good bath. I love to make it fun with like dried flowers and bath bubbles and bombs, and mostly bath bubbles. I prefer bath bubbles, but just the warmth of the bath and just sitting and soaking with some Epsom salt and then getting out and just feeling so refreshed. Like, something about soaking in a warm hot tub really does re-energize me. It relaxes me, of course, but it refuels my soul, okay? And that's something that you need to do, especially if you work in like a creative workspace. You will not be creative if you are constantly drained, and you need to explore. It might be a new hobby. I learned to ride a motorcycle. When I tell you that I did not understand the benefits of wind therapy, that's what they call it, when you ride a motorcycle, there is something to be said about it, because you are so distracted about riding said motorcycle, you cannot think of anything else. It's another reason that one of my hobbies is makeup, because when I'm doing it, it's all I can think about. It is so therapeutic for me. So find something that is a hobby that while you're doing it is the only thing you can think about, okay? It gives your mind a break, and that is so necessary, and it will help that recharge and refill. And it can be many things. It can be all of them. You can spend some time painting, spend some time watching Gilmore Girls. I'm using examples from my personal life. This is what I like to do. You could online browse and shop and coupon and save money. You could maybe just go spend some alone time in a store and look around TJ Maxx. Maybe you don't even buy anything. Maybe you don't even make a purchase, but maybe that time out of the house, you know, getting dressed up and feeling cute and going and looking at what's trending and what's new brings you joy. It brings me joy. If you have trouble finding what brings you joy, write down a list of things that make you happy. Write down a list of things that make you happy, and then make sure some of those things aren't just dog, cat, mom, son, brother, sister. Make sure some of those things are actions. Going and getting ice cream makes you happy. Sitting down and coloring in a coloring book while listening to your favorite Elvis song makes you happy. I don't know what it is. You are you, I am me. Figure it out though. Write it down, explore it, and then practice it, okay? Do one of those things once a week. Self-tan once a week because it makes you feel better all week long. Go get your eyelashes done. I don't know. I don't know what it is that brings you joy. You need to figure that out. That's how you can figure it out. And exploring is also how you can find new things to shake it up a little bit, because variety is the spice of life, my friends. Find 10 things, make sure the main focus is you, and then let's explore. Let's try it out. And yourself is who we are learning to prioritize and focus on. You have the rest down. You are an amazing mom. You're an amazing dog mom. You are amazing brother, sister, friend, cousin, aunt. Whatever it is, you're amazing at that. You've got that down. We're not people pleasing, okay? We have to fill up our cup. We have to allow ourselves to treat ourselves how we deserve to be treated. How we are treating others is how we deserve to be treated, okay? So whenever you do this, you can manage stress better, you increase your energy in other areas, and it enhances your well-being. Because if we're increasing the way that our energy is in other aspects, and we're able to manage stress better because we have a fuller cup to pour from, so there's more avenues and areas we can pour that cup from, then we have more left over for ourselves. And that overall, the main focus is enhancing your well-being, enhancing your life, and making yourself happier. Like, I don't obsess over Starbucks, but I enjoy a hot tea every now and then. You know, it's not the typical order, it's what brings me joy. So when I was an alcoholic, like I was mentioning in the beginning, I would like get all dressed up and do my makeup and be like, oh yeah, we're gonna go out and I'm gonna take pictures and selfies and post on Instagram. And like, I thought that that's what you did. I thought that was self-care. I thought that I was taking care of myself because I was like putting on a full face of makeup, doing my hair, showering, shaving, the whole nine. But it didn't always bring me joy. Sometimes it felt like a chore. Sometimes it felt like a necessity. Sometimes it felt like it's just what you did. Like that was not hand in hand coinciding 1-to-1 ratio wise with joy for me. Like last night I was feeling very emotional. I watched an emotional episode of one of my favorite shows, and it was just one of those days. We're allowed to have those days. I have 2 to 3 a month where everything makes me want to cry. Everything. And with the passing of Matthew Perry, rest in peace to our sweet, sweet Matthew Perry, who did so much for those in recovery and was a phenomenal actor and brought so much joy and laughter into our lives. Like I said, now that I'm sober, I feel every feeling very, very heavily, but with like that being on my mind, and it's getting very close to Thanksgiving. My dad passed on Thanksgiving, for those of you that don't know. The holidays can be so happy and so full of joy and cheer, but they can also be really, really, really scary and isolating and lonely for others. So make sure that you're checking on your people, and if you have the opportunity to extend an invite to someone to be included that might be alone, I do want to put that message out there and put that on your heart. Maybe that's something that you could provide this year. But we're talking about self-care. It helps us to care for others, right? So yeah, I was just having like a really just I want to cry about everything. I want to go take a shower. So I took a shower at like 7 p.m., which is way earlier than I normally do. I usually take it directly before bed. And I went and laid in bed with my heating pad. I lit a candle. I got all my painting supplies together. And I worked on a project for my boyfriend for his birthday because that brings me joy. Gifting people very specialized items brings me joy. But one of my hobbies is painting. And sometimes just sitting in the bed with a heating pad, a Sprite, your favorite bevy. You know, I'm a bevy girl. Being in recovery from alcoholism, I was drinking nonstop. So now I drink nonstop. I just drink like water or soda or whatever it may be for the day. It's my second episode I've filmed today, so I'm very thirsty. Yeah, self-care is important, and what you are doing in your life right now, you might think is self-care. You might think is like, well, this is what people do to take care of themselves, and I'm taking care of myself. I'm gonna say it again. I'm literally beating a dead horse over here. Do you even know if this brings you joy? Does going to Starbucks and ordering what every other influencer on TikTok orders bring you joy? Or did you hate that Starbucks order? But were you able to post a selfie on Snapchat with it? Let's reach inside our souls here a little bit. Does meditating bring you joy? Does sitting in some silence bring you joy? Does praying about your gratitude or writing down your gratitude bring you joy? Writing down the things that I'm grateful for doesn't inherently bring me joy, but it does put me in a place and a sense of gratitude, which it brings me joy to be in a place and sense of gratitude. So sometimes there's a couple steps to get to the joy, right? Sometimes there's a couple steps. And so maybe, you know, ordering Starbucks every single day isn't like what brings you joy, but being able to walk around Target with a drink that you know, experimenting and trying new drinks does bring you joy. Maybe documenting it does bring you joy, but I want you to make sure that what you're doing is for you, because otherwise it's not self-care. I'm gonna put this on the internet so that people see that I'm doing this and participating in this activity and that I take care of myself. That is fake. That's not real, okay? So it can be so important to take care of ourselves because it shows our trust. It can be so important to take care of ourselves and participate actively in self-care, no matter what that looks like for you or for me or for him, because it allows us to trust ourselves that we're going to take care of ourselves, that no matter what, we got our back. And that's a beautiful thing. But it also is going to, again, help us in other areas and aspects of our life. It helps you to just feel more fulfilled. And isn't that what we're all searching for? We're all searching for a full heart, a full belly, a happy, warm home. I think we're all searching for that. And I think that if you start to practice and explore doing things for yourself in mind, prioritizing yourself in mind that bring you joy, you can get creative with it. I know that some people's schedules and lifestyles can get a bit hectic and can be kind of hard to find time for that and fit that in, but it's possible. You're capable. You're worth it. You deserve it. I just don't know how many more ways or I can say it. I can't. Putting ourselves at the forefront helps us to trust ourselves. When we trust ourselves and know that we have each other's our own back, we know that we're never going to be lonely. We know we're going to never be with lack. We know we're never going to be without because we know ourselves and we know what we can do to cheer ourselves up and we know what we can do to refill our cup. And then the better we know ourselves, the more we trust ourselves. The more we trust ourselves, the more confident we can be and the better we can show up in every single room and we can show up for others. And I don't know about you, but I desire to be a good friend. I desire to be a good girlfriend and a wife one day. I desire to be a good sister and a good aunt. And with those desires in mind, I cannot contribute or continue to fulfill and succeed in those if I am not fulfilling and succeeding my own needs and meeting my own needs. And you might not have needs right now, and that's why we're going to work on a list of what brings you joy, and we're going to prioritize that, we're going to explore it, and we're going to figure it out. And we're going to fit it in our schedule. Why? Because you're important, and because self-care is just that, taking care of yourself. And if you're not doing this, sounds like a you problem. Why are you not doing this? Get on the bandwagon. Self-care is very, the word's very overused, so I feel like sometimes the message can get misconstrued, which is why I made the example of like social media, and it's like, oh, their self-care is going to get a Starbucks, like, so that's self-care, and you just like label it as self-care for yourself, but if it doesn't bring you joy, it's not self-care. So if it doesn't bring you joy, what is it? Okay. It's not self-care if it doesn't bring you joy. Remember that. Figure out what brings you joy. I love you so much. I'm sorry I was so redundant in this episode, but I really want to drill it into your dang gone brain. I'm in a silly, goofy mood. I'm going to get off here. Thank you guys so much for listening to Sounds Like a You Problem. If you are here, please just leave me a little 5-star review before you go. It makes such a difference in my life and helps me out so much. Even if you're not listening on Spotify and you're just watching on YouTube, maybe you could, give a little thumbs up, subscribe. If you could comment, and it helps boost all of my stuff. Also, I have an idea. I had an idea to do a Google Doc form of topics you guys, it'll be anonymous. So it'll be topics you guys might want me to cover, and we could call the segment like Dear Dazee. What do you think? Let me know, because right now I'm just kind of sharing things that are on my mind that I did, that I changed, that helped me, that are currently going on in my life, etc., etc. So don't forget to give me a thumbs up, subscribe, comment, let me know what you think about this video, and give me a rating on Spotify, please. Even if you don't listen on Spotify, please go over to Spotify and give me a 5-star rating.